It's really important in this era of constant sort of political scandal, and in reality, it's almost an era of constant scandal fatigue, not to let the storylines of this administration just fade away without follow-up. And one of those stories is the wall, right? Donald Trump's wall with Mexico, which we now learned can be defeated with a $100 saw available at any hardware store. So remember, Donald Trump promised a wall across the entire US Mexico border by the end of his first term. Obviously a joke. It's not going to happen. It always was a joke. It was never going to happen. But Donald Trump and his followers are trying to claim that the wall is being built. Trump says it's being built. The truth is that there was previously approved money to repair and replace some aged parts of the wall, and it is being done with the version of the wall that Donald Trump likes or says is, quote, virtually impenetrable. So another element of this is the strength of the wall and the ways in which the wall can be defeated. And it turns out that the wall Trump wants to build is a total farce. It is not virtually impenetrable. It is very easily defeatable. And in fact, border agents and officials recently told the Washington Post that a $100 saw that you can get at any hardware store can cut right through the wall. Some of these rebuilt, repaired wall sections were done with Trump's version of the wall, which has steel bollards and it has a series of 30-foot tall panels. So smugglers have been carrying around a $100 saw and just cutting through the steel bollards, and then you push the panels forward and you walk right through Donald Trump's virtually impenetrable wall, which he called the Rolls-Royce of walls. It sounds more like the Trump Tower of walls, given its shoddy nature. I think that's the better analogy for the quality of the construction that I would use. Now, unfortunately, this is what happens when you let xenophobia blind you and your followers. You end up putting all of your eggs in one basket. In this case, it's the basket of a wall that doesn't really work, and in the basket of obsolete technology that does nothing to address the underlying reality of why people are trying to come to the United States, which is really what we should be working on if we want to solve this problem. But it turns out that it can also be defeated with a $100 tool. Look at any time in history and look at the various ways, the myriad ways in which walls have been defeated. Look at Troy, look at I'm forgetting other historical examples offhand, but there are many of them. Now, you can argue the point of the wall isn't that it has to actually be impenetrable. It just has to delay people long enough that Border Patrol can show up. Wait a second. You're shifting the goalposts to say that we're going to spend 20 billion, 25 billion, whatever it's going to be, and it's not meant to stop a $100 saw. It's just meant to delay people so that Border Patrol can show up. Doesn't a river also delay people long enough that Border Patrol should be able to show up in all cases? Because we've already got that at much of the border. The wall is not pragmatic. The wall is a monument to xenophobia. It's a monument to political promises. And it's not being built. That's the most important thing. It is quite literally a boondoggle. And by the way, I'll remind you, it's not just a $100 saw that can defeat the wall. The wall has been scaled and passed over as well. But this is also ultimately not about that. This is an example of feelings over facts. The fact that the wall will cost tens of billions of dollars and not solve anything, the fact that the wall can be defeated with a $100 tool, the facts don't matter. The feeling that Trumpists get by seeing Trump talk about the wall and promise the wall, of Trump being big and strong and powerful, and that it'll stop people from coming in some complete fantasy world, that supersedes the facts. And the people who shout about we should pay attention to facts over feelings are the ones who are being destroyed by their own feelings while ignoring the facts. And yet again, another embarrassment, a $100 saw defeating the wall. The wall is barely a conversation anymore for Republicans, of course, because it was yet another one of Donald Trump's massive failures, but we're not going to forget about it. Today's program brought to you in part by Blinkist.com/Pakman. Blinkist is a great service that I use all the time. What they do is they take thousands of the most popular nonfiction books, including the newest bestsellers. They condense them into 15-minute audiobooks that you can listen to. and you still get the most crucial information and insights from each book. And I've listened to a ton of books on Blinkist. I recently checked out Soccernomics by Simon Cooper. We do have, after all, the World Cup going on recently. We also have been talking about BS Jobs, and there is a great new book, BS Jobs by David Graeber, which I listen to on Blinkist. They're constantly adding new books to the platform. You will never run out of fascinating and critically acclaimed books to enjoy. And our audience can get a 7-day free trial by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm putting a link in the video description. And after the free trial, if you like it, you can continue enjoying thousands of condensed audiobooks for about $5 a month. That's BLINKIST.com/PAKMAN.